Good morning and welcome to another edition of our post-cabinet press briefing. We apologize for a slight late start. The rain and traffic held a lot of us up this morning. But thank you for joining us. I want to thank members of the media for joining us, as well as members of the public. This morning we have a very special presentation by the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honorable Floyd Green, who will be giving us some updates about important developments in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. We do know that food security is a big deal in today's world, and the Minister has been doing a lot of work on that. I'd like to welcome Minister Floyd Green to the podium right now. Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister Morgan. So, today marks the start of Eat Jamaican Month, which is a collaborative initiative between the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining and the JAS. Although activities change annually, the mandate and message remain the same. We must support our local farmers, fishers, and agripreneurs by eating Jamaican. This is even more important this year. Our farmers and fishers have gone through a most difficult time. In fact, our farmers have faced the most difficult drought ever recorded in the history of our country. And now they're going through short bouts of intense rainfall, which unfortunately is leading to flooding and displacement. So it has been a difficult year. Now more than ever, us as Jamaicans need to eat Jamaican. Now more than ever, our fishers and farmers need our support. The truth is, eating Jamaican significantly benefits our farmers who work tirelessly to till the soil. It benefits them financially, but it also boosts morale, because when they know that there is demand for their hard work and the foods that they produce, that encourages them to continue producing. Eating Jamaican is also about spreading awareness of the health benefits of Jamaican food. So yes, we do benefit the economy and our farmers, but quite frankly, we benefit ourselves by ensuring that we have access to safe, fresh and healthy food. Finally, Eat Jamaican Month helps us to drive food security, which is part of our new face of food strategy, as it attempts to change our consumption patterns from a diet of largely imports to that of local production, while reminding the world that we do have the best food in the world. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the activities that we will be embarking on under our Eat Jamaican Month. Eat Jamaican Day traditionally is November the 25th. We've been celebrating this for the past 20 years, and this year we will mark and commemorate Eat Jamaican Day on November 24th, which is the day before, because Eat Jamaican Day falls on a Saturday. And we'll be journeying to the parish of Portland, to our College of Agriculture, Science and Education. The event will feature a number of activities, including our official ceremony to mark Eat Jamaican Day, an award ceremony for our farmers, and exposition showcasing our Jamaican delicacies. For us, we thought it very important to incorporate our training institutions as a part of our Eat Jamaican Month celebration, because the reality, if we are going to fundamentally transform our agri-food systems, then it has to start from our training institutions. So we'll be hosted by CASE, but we'll have all our entities, Ebony Park, Nakalva, will be there with us to celebrate Eat Jamaican Day. We will also kick off Eat Jamaican Month today by staging a meeting of our Food Security and Agri-Business Council. The council is a joint initiative of the Government of Jamaica and the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, and brings together members of our ministry's technical teams with our agri-based private sector. The council is co-chaired by Matthew Lynn from the CB Group, who is the PSOJ's representative on agriculture, and I co-chair the council with Matthew. The council emerged out of work that was done by JAMPRO and our Ministry of Industry some years ago, where we developed a national food security and agribusiness strategy. And the council seeks to ensure that there's alignment between government policy and the work of the private sector. More importantly, To truly transform our agri-food systems, it has to be private sector led. So this morning's meeting will focus on the refinement of the terms of reference of the Food Security and Agribusiness Council. Also, we'll take a look at the Ministry of Agriculture's focus on building out 3,000 acres of orchard crops over the next 3 to 5 years, and also our new push for aquaculture under our new Face of Food initiative. There will be other activities, including Eat Jamaican Day as a competition. And what I encourage everybody is please pay attention to the ministry's website, also the JIS social media pages to see some of our Eat Jamaican Month activities. There are a few other issues that I want to raise in terms of some of the activities that we'll be embarking on starting this month, but that will go further. We are about to embark on a new Face of Food island-wide stakeholder engagement session. This will commence tomorrow, November 2nd, in Kingston and St. Andrew. And we will be on the road going from parish to parish for the next 6 weeks. We believe that this is critical, in fact, fundamental to do a number of things. One, we believe now more than ever, our farmers and fishers need to hear from us directly as we seek to increase the production of crops and livestock. We do have a number of new initiatives under our new Face of Food strategy, and we want to bring that directly to our stakeholders by sharing some of our new program offerings across the ministry and its agencies. Additionally, we have new agri-packs coming on stream, and we think it's very important that we start hunting the investments for those agri-packs starting now. So we will be using the stakeholder engagement to promote new investment opportunities. There are also a number of new offerings that came up over the last 3 years from the private sector, especially around things like insurance, family health insurance, crop insurance, and also new loans that are being offered by our financial services sector. We want to bring that information to our farmers and fishers across Jamaica. We are also looking to facilitate export expansion, and I have found as minister that a number of us are not sure what are the crops, the products that the world is really clamoring for. We do have some misconceptions. So some of us do know by now that yam is our #1 traditional export, but I'm not sure we are certain that there's a tremendous demand for dasheen, a tremendous demand for cocoa, tremendous demand for akis, and I could go on and on. So we're going to be taking that information directly to our parishes to facilitate export. And of course, we're going to be listening to some of the issues that the farmers and fishers may bring up. We do have new priority programs, and we believe it's very important that our farmers know where our ministry will be putting direct support over the next 3 years. And those priority crops include yams, breadfruit, sweet potato, ackee, mango, of course our small ruminant sector, goat and sheep, and aquaculture, and our ever-in-demand spices sector, ginger, turmeric, and pimento. So we start tomorrow with a stakeholder engagement, really focusing on our exporters that will be held in St. Andrew, and then on Friday, we journey to Hayes, the Wembley Center in Clarendon, to continue our island-wide stakeholder engagement. 2 more matters. Today, we will be rolling out our new backyard gardening program, which is slated to coincide with our Eat Jamaican campaign. It's very important in relation to boosting food security and also to encourage sustainable farming practices, but to look at food security on a household level and to give all of us a greater appreciation of what our farmers go through. So we have a new backyard gardening program. We will be distributing over 3,000 backyard gardening kits through the Rural Agricultural Development Authority. The kits will be done on a first-come, first-served basis. We do have quotas across the parishes, so I am encouraging everybody to go out and sign up for your backyard gardening program. The link will become live at 12 p.m. today. You will sign up online, and I'll give you the link. So if you have your pens, papers at home, get ready. It is rada.gov.jm /backyard gardening kits. Very, very easy, right? Don't log on now. It goes live at 12. What is critical in this program is that RADA will also be providing essential guidance. We will be focusing on our vegetable lines. We do have some online training support for you. We are looking to create the next generation of backyard gardeners. Finally, you will allow me quickly to just touch a little bit on our mining sector. Our mining sector is doing tremendously well. And in fact, the 2% growth that we boasted about in the last quarter is largely as a result of a 164% increase in our mining sector. This is largely due to higher output of aluminum from increased production at the Jamaica plant. And I really want to commend the team from Jamaica. As we all know, a few years ago, Jamaica went through an awful fire that significantly limited their production. It's now good to see them not only back up and running, but getting back to the levels that they were at before. And that is helping us to spur growth. Additionally, it may go unnoticed that we have had over 100% increase in exports from our limestone sector. And I want to commend the team from Litford Mining, which has been driving that exportation growth, and we are looking for greater things as the years go on. We will continue to place tremendous emphasis on our mining sector to facilitate growth and to identify new markets. In fact, I have tasked the team at the ministry to come to cabinet with a submission around the development of an industrial minerals policy. So while we do have a mining policy, industrial minerals speak to those things such as limestone, which we have seen a tremendous increase in demand. And it's very, very important that we have the policy framework to facilitate its sustainable growth. The other area that we're working on, and we expect to launch this initiative this month, is we have had over the years tremendous challenges, issues, in fact, conflict in relation to the operation of mining in various communities. And a number of our citizens have said that it's much too difficult to raise concerns, issues, when they do have challenges with ongoing mining activities. We want to make that much easier. And as such, we've been working with our partners at the EU, and we're developing a mobile application on conflict management for our mining sector. In fact, this mobile application will allow citizens to report grievances and issues from the adverse effects caused by mining and quarrying activities, and it will also help to frame problems reported in a structured and systematic framework, clearly enhancing the visibility and facilitating a comprehensive response. The application will give residents the opportunity to do real-time reporting and clearly give our agencies the opportunity to respond in real time. So a lot of good things are happening across our agriculture, fisheries, and mining sector. I end where I started. Please eat Jamaican for this month. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. As Minister Morgan comes to the lectern, I believe we have just a few questions as well for you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Really appreciate you coming here today for this post-cabinet presentation. Naomi, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. Minister, coming out of your last point concerning the mining app that may come live, can you say exactly when that will happen?
Yeah.
And on the platform, is there some log-on information that you can share?
Yeah, so we are planning to have a launch towards the end of this month, or definitely early December, first week of December. The application is finished. We're now going through our testing phase, so we do expect to launch. So once we go live, we will share all the information. We will have a launch event, and again, it is really listening to the concerns of our citizens about finding a more accountable and transparent way for them to raise issues that they're having, and also to be able to track resolution. We think that's very, very important.
Thank you, Minister.
Good morning, Minister. Jadana Murphy here from JIS. To what extent were farmers affected by Monday's quake, and what support will be provided by the government?
So I think all of us were completely shaken up, especially our farmers in St. Andrew and the eastern ends of the island. There wasn't any significant damage to property, thankfully, but our farmers have been suffering from damages caused by intense rainfall. So we have seen losses over the last month in parts of Portland, in parts of St. Thomas. Unfortunately, some of our vegetable belt in northern Clarendon, and we are watching these systems that have formed to see the continued rainfall with the saturated soil doesn't augur well for farmers, especially in eastern Jamaica. So no direct reports of property damage from the earthquake, but we are watching the adverse effects of the rainfall, and we are providing direct support. In fact, I would have met with our permanent secretary yesterday, and we have a meeting planned with RADA to ensure that we're ramping up support for our vegetable farmers. We are seeing tremendous declines in the production of our vegetable lines, firstly because of the drought, then the elevated heat, because as a separate issue, we are seeing higher temperatures, and now because of intense bouts of rainfall. So, you know, traditionally we've developed very good sustainability measures in relation to our vegetable lines. We are self-sustainable in producing vegetables, but this year we are seeing tremendous difficulties. So we're going to put additional support to those vegetable farmers to help them bounce back, especially as we look towards the Christmas.
Thank you, Minister. Coming from that response, then, two quick questions. One, the backyard garden program that will be launched. For those, especially in urban areas, I'm seeing some questions concerning exactly what crops, so to speak, are you looking to have, for example, those who live in apartment blocks able to produce from what you're sending, and two, the extent of the packages that you will offer?
Yeah, so it's normally we focus on our vegetable lines, right? And that will be the focus. And you will get a combination of seeds. You may get some lettuce, you may get some cabbage. But we not only provide seeds, we do provide some planting equipment, we do provide some soil types. For our urban farmers, and I have heard a lot of questions from our urban farmers, farming has evolved, right? It used to be that you needed a lot of space and you needed actual soil to farm. Those days are still there, but we've evolved into now hydroponic PVC-led systems where you could do a vertical system, Nesta, in your room where you're farming using water, leafy vegetables. So the reality is that we will be utilizing RADA to work with our urban farmers to help them in relation to some of those systems. Again, there are also containerized solutions, right? A lot of the farming in urban spaces are done in things that you would discard, old paint pads, you know, old tires, things that you probably have around that you're not utilizing now that can be repurposed for agriculture. So again, we will provide some technical support in that regard.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, and Minister, the question concerning following up on vegetables, in terms of, it's now November 1, so everybody's looking toward the Christmas season, in terms of the ministry's plan to ensure that there is reliable, affordable crops for consumers.
So thankfully, we do have some of the most resilient farmers in the world. And I know a lot of them, once they started to see some rainfall, a lot of them are already out in the field, pulling together to get the produce that we're looking for the Christmas season. The good thing with our vegetable lines is that a number of them are 6-week turnarounds. So if our farmers are out in the field now, we can expect that come mid-December, we will have greater levels of production. What I want to assure our farmers is that we're not going to leave them alone. We are looking to roll out additionally a fertilizer program to help our farmers directly. We have gotten some strong support from our friends in Morocco, and I want to use this opportunity to thank the people and the government and the Kingdom of Morocco for continuing to work with our agricultural sector through the provision of fertilizer. Again, my deepest condolences to the people of Morocco who have gone through a very difficult time quite recently with significant loss of life. Nonetheless, they continue to support us, and we're appreciative of it. So our farmers can look forward to some support over the month of November, going into December, of direct support in relation to fertilizer, especially our vegetable line farmers.
Thank you very much. Is that, oh, Jamila? Morning.
Mic check. Morning, I'm Jamila from TVJ. I have two questions, one for Minister Green. We have a farming community out in deep rural St. Andrews called Westphalia. During the earthquake, they had a major landslide, and the only farm road leading to the farm has been blocked. Are you aware of this? Are there any plans to ensure that they'll be able to access their farms in light of what's going on?
We did get a report, not one. We noted about 6 farm roads in that St. Andrew, Upper St. Andrew, East Rural St. Andrew area, and parts of St. Thomas that did see blockage. Thankfully, we did have equipment on the ground in relation to both St. Andrew and St. Thomas, so our RADA tractors went into action. My last report are that the vast majority of those roads were cleared. In fact, when I checked yesterday, only 1 road was not cleared. I would have to check my notes to see if that community was specifically mentioned, if that road has been cleared. If not, I'll look at it. But if I check my phone, I can give you quite quickly some of the roads that were blocked and that have been cleared.
And just to follow up, speaking of Westphalia, farm roads are almost always an issue. Has there been any representation for them to have improved farm roads? Where are they on the list?
So in general, right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, you're completely right, Jamila. We have had tremendous challenges with farm roads. And the reality is that, unfortunately, we did go through an extended period over 20 years where the sort of resources that were allocated to repair farm roads were just not sufficient. Thankfully, we are seeing changes, and the government had gone to an allocation of about $1 billion for farm road support right before COVID. Clearly, COVID came and we saw some changes. This year, we started out with $610 million for our farm road networks. Thankfully, based on representation that was made, we got an additional $200 million in the budget, which brings us up now to $810 million. We have already done work on 23 farm roads this year. We have another 13 in procurement, and we are looking to do another 20 thereabout. I can't speak specifically to the community, but what we want and what I've been advocating for is that we get this $1 billion as a minimum over the next 3 years. If we're able to get that sort of support, not only will we be able to do more farm roads, but we really have to look at the quality of the work that is being done, and to ensure that we're not only doing the roads, but we're looking at drainage, we're looking at culverts, things of that nature. So we are reshaping our farm road program. One of the challenges is that, especially in our mountainous areas, these roads require significant engineering. So the reality is that we just have to have additional budgets. So I want to say to all our farmers across the length and breadth of Jamaica, this is a priority of the government. We haven't just spoken about it, we've put our money where our mouth is, and over the next 3 years, you will see tremendous improvement and greater support to our farm road networks.
All right, another question?
All right, this one is for Minister Morgan. We've been seeing in the dailies, I'd want to see an improvement, like the election machinery is gearing up. The EOJ is looking election day workers. Is Cabinet discussing local government election in this year? Do you have any announcement for a budget at this time?
Well, the only thing I could say is that the Minister of Finance in the recent supplementary estimate did make an allocation to the EOJ. Everybody heard the EOJ advertising for election day workers, and the Prime Minister signaled that he will not go beyond the constitutional period for the elections. Cabinet is not discussing elections. We are very focused on the business of the country. When it's time for elections, it's time for elections. We are more focused right now in maintaining our stable macroeconomic framework, dealing with the sticky issues of crime and violence, trying to make life better for the people of Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. That's all the questions.
Thank you very much, everyone. And also special thank you to Minister the Honorable Floyd Green for coming here this morning. I want to thank members of the media and the team here from OPM, Jamaica Information Service, PBCJ, and also members of the media both online and here in present. Thank you very much for joining us, and also members of the public. Stay tuned next week for another post-cabinet press briefing. Until then, be safe, be dry, and be careful.